Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender. I hope you're picking me up. I am going to pause this music right now so we don't have that overplaying. I hope everyone's having a great week. I'm having a great week. I'm going to do another introduction, so don't be surprised. Here. Here we go in 3, 2, 1. Hi, this is Jim the Keys bartender. I'm doing a simultaneous Keys bartender podcast on Extras and doing a live feed here. So this episode, if you follow the podcast, on Extras, not on Florida Keys bartender, but the other one where I put all this silly shit that doesn't really follow any process. I am just this episode I'm calling Great Success, and I just want to share with you. I just had a really great week. I've been doing, I've been following a process, and I'll talk about process later. But it just works for me. Whenever you get to find out whatever works for you, do it. And what works for you is something that improves your life, makes you happier, and things like that. And I can't say. And whether it's church, sports, your what is it? That fantasy league. If that works for you and it makes you happy, go on ahead and do it. For me, I do a lot of meditation, and I'll talk about that process later for me. But what really was great, I had I'm not a big birthday guy. I had my birthday. I don't get wrapped up in the age thing. It's I'm 56 years old. I feel good. I don't necessarily know what age I feel like, but I'm feeling good for whatever age it is. I feel like I'm happy, and the podcasting thing's going great. My work, I'm a bartender, is going great. I'm a spin instructor. That's going great. I just seem to be able to handle adversity a little better than I used to. When I say handle, I mean I'm able to not let it change my day and make it horrible. I'm just there to make sure, keep on moving on. Anybody you run into, I don't want to leave any negative interactions. I just want to I just want them to be happy. Just whatever. I can't make people happy. Happiness comes from the inside, but I don't have to be the one that sets someone off. And I think I've been doing better doing that, and I hope I can bring value to that. When I go into my podcast, I hope the listeners enjoy it. I hope that we have people that are, when they come to the spin class, they're ready, whatever they expect, whatever they want to get out of it. If they're just to disconnect and, just pedal the bike, fine. But if they're to, increase their fitness level, I'm there for them. Like I said, whenever there's people out there that want to listen and they want to come in and do a great workout, whatever your goal is, to just hang out with your friend, that's all right for my spin class and stuff like that. I teach to a level where if you really want to work out hard, I'm there for you. So that's that one thing. When it comes to the bar thing, I just want people... Oh, I got a phone call coming in. I'm going to dismiss that. Okay, just leave a message. I hope... let me dismiss that. I hope that that isn't my appointment. That's at 11 o'clock. So, who knows? I'm not going to let it get to me. Please let whoever's calling me, send me a text message, and I'll be happy to respond after I'm done doing this brief podcast. And this is my podcasting day, where I go over to the Kelly household, and Jenna, Kelly, and Tyler, and Papa Joe, and Damon, and I think Anna, that's Jenna's sister's going to be there, and we do 2 episodes, and in a couple weeks, September 3rd, next Tuesday, I'm going to be in Key West on Tuesday, next Tuesday, September 3rd, 12 noon, I will be at the Smallest Bar. We're doing a podcast from there, and I'll be there with JD, the bartender, and Jim Martin, the owner and distiller of the Key West Smugglers Bourbon Whiskey. And we'll probably be doing a show right after that maybe around 1:30 at his tasting room. And then we'll be doing some other things, maybe visiting some businesses down there about the prospect of doing other podcasts down there. But it is not about podcasting, even though I am podcasting right now. And the thing about when I say great success, I don't necessarily worry about the results. I don't need to have, I can podcast, I'm broadcasting now. I could do it as if no one's watching. And obviously there are a couple people watching right now, but this is something I'm trying to get comfortable with, trying to do more of a stream of consciousness, what I do on the podcast. And when I'm referring over here to the podcast, I have my board, my virtual board up here on my Chromebook, and I have my microphone right here. Let me bring this over. It's called a snowball microphone, and this red dot means it's powered. And there's a bar on my virtual board, which I can probably bring this over. This is what this looks like on my podcasting day. And normally I use something called a dynamic mic. And the dynamic mic versus the powered mic, just give a brief one, that's something you talk into like this. And it doesn't pick up a lot of sound going all around you. So in a crowded bar, I can do that. This powered mic actually has power going into it, and it amplifies the sound around it. It picks up almost anything. So you'll hear the air conditioning or something going on right behind me. So before I started the podcast, I'm going to talk about my process today. I'm done talking about the great success, how I feel like I accomplished something. I get up, I do my meditation. Some of you guys probably pray and do all those things, but this is what I do, try to get my head straight, what I'm going to accomplish during the day. I listen to a little music. I try to stay away from too many negative news, though I'm a news hound. I like to know what's going on, just in case something really bad's happening. We are in the middle of tropical storm season, and there's one storm swirling out there, and it's coming up on Labor Day weekend, and about 83 years ago, there was a big Labor Day hurricane down here, so we don't want that to coalesce and increase. But who knows? We can't control that. Shouldn't get anxious about it. You just got to keep your eye out for that thing going out there, and then eventually when it gets close, and if it's a problem, we deal with it. So my process, I get up, I do the meditations, I get a cup of coffee, sometimes I do a little writing. I got this book. I put all my stupid ideas in here, and I just think stupid. I got to say, they're great ideas. They're great ideas. Maybe not that legible. What was that? I want a firm pickle. That's not very enlightening. I know that, but it was just someone one day they handed a pickle that was kind of flaccid, and they're waving it at me and says, this is not a firm pickle. And I said, many people have that problem. So there's things you could do about it. You stick it in some cold water or something like that. And they took it the wrong way. But it was funny to me, and sometimes you're your own audience, the best audience. So I'm on the writing here. I write my episode works down, like what I'm going to do today, episode 201, 202, and maybe put on a little music on my Alexa over here, and I want to say that too loud. Right before a podcast, knowing that the day's going really well, I'm going to tell you what I did. Right before, about 10 minutes ago, I come up and I'm thinking about this song I really like. It's called Mr. Blue Sky. And I say, that's a happy rock song. Maybe I should play that during the show in the background. And I don't think that would violate any copyright rules or anything if it's playing in the background. I'm not really recording it. So I go, Alexa, I don't want to say it too loud because to do it, play this song. And this is what pops on. Listen to this. Alexa, resume. Here we go. There. That's, I swear to God. I say play Happy Rock, and what the fuck? Mr. Blue Sky starts playing. If that isn't a message from a universe that you're going to have a great day, I don't know what it is. I mean, yeah, everyone has their happy music. This is my music right here. This gives me energy. It gets me jazzed up. Okay. I can listen to this. I know it's a little loud, so I'm going to... Alexa, pause. Alexa, pause. So Yeah, that's the first song, and I was thinking about that song. I was literally thinking about that song, not a song like that, and that's what made me happy today. So that's my process. That's what I do, and I'm dressed now. I'm ready to go to the gym, but I'm actually going directly there because in about 20 minutes, I'm pointing up at my clock. I know it doesn't really listen to me. And I'm sorry for the podcast listeners that pointing doesn't really help either. But I guess it's kind of like for the visually impaired that I'm looking over to my Chromebook while I'm talking, like I'm ignoring. Oh my God, I'm just talking directly to Facebook. I'm not ignoring my podcast listeners, which I probably got like maybe 2 on this one. But on a side note, I had 800 one day. I had 800 downloads, and that's monumental. I mean, my listenership in the last 3 months has gone up 3 times, which I'm very happy about it. I'm not attached to the number. I just want to keep on doing what I'm doing and hope that it works out for all of us. Now, I mentioned one. I'm going to say something about Pittsburgh. Thank you, whoever the Pittsburgh listeners are. I'd like to thank France. I got listeners in Paris, France, Texas, Delaware, Maryland, New York, obviously my Florida people, Gainesville. I hope there's probably a bunch of girls up in Gainesville, Florida State. Is that where Florida State is? But I'm a Penn State guy, but that doesn't preclude any love for you guys. I love my college listeners. Hello, Lisa Pettit. Yes, and Ronnie Williams. Thank you for listening. Yes. What I really want to do is just be able to spread that out. I got Texas listeners. I got one called Texas Heathen. She's a sweetheart. I like to thank, I guess there's McGeehan's. And I remember it is Rock Bottom, the name of the bar. It's McGeehan's Rock Bottom. So when you're going to McGeehan's, you go into McGeehan's at Compton Cottage in Philadelphia, you reach rock bottom. And remember, I work at the Catch. You know, if you want to come in there and have a couple drinks, come in and see me there at the Catch. I'm working tomorrow day. Normally I work a double on Wednesday, a double Friday, double Monday, double Wednesday, double Friday. Hey, Kenny Channels, thank you for listening. Hi, Kristen and Cosme. I got a lot of messages. I know people coming. Hey, Bill Guy. So, yep, I see you. It's nice that you're listening. I'm sorry if I missed some of you in the beginning. I'm not too nimble with this Facebook thing right away, but I hope I do get a little smoother on that. So I'm finished with my process. I did that. I'm going to have my goals for today, and my goals for today is to set an agenda for my meeting when I go up. Hi, Savannah. Set the agenda for my meeting at 11 o'clock. Check out my daughter's gone vegetarian on us, which means she eats seafood and eggs still. So I guess that's pesca ovo lacto vegetarian. But so that makes us pretty much more vegetarian. And I'm when they're not around, I mean, I'm grabbing a big ass steak and I'm throwing it on and eating 2 pounds of meat. But I've been eating a lot more vegetables. And I'm happy about it. I feel good about it. It's not something I didn't push against it, because if my 12-year-old, soon to be 13-year-old daughter decides that she wants to do something on principle, I'm going to respect that. And I mean, she let these kids lead the way. So I'm going to do that. And so I'm going to go to the supermarket. I'm going to check out some alternatives. I got to check out some crazy ass burgers they have. The Miracle Burger or Impossible Burger, the Black Bean Burger. Hey, how you doing there? Oh, I'm missing the name. Deal Miller. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I'll wave back. Can I wave back too? Yes, see. Okay, Kelsey, I see your name disappeared right there. I'm waving back to all of you. Thank you. Hey, Bill Guy, Christina, Cosme. Oh, yep. Hello, Lisa Pettit. I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to finish up with Mr. Blue Sky, and then I'm going to finish up with the podcast. But once again, I am going to be in Key West on September 3rd in the smallest bar in Duval Street, and 1:30. I think, and I'll confirm this with Jim Martin, will be in a tasting room at Key West Smuggler's bourbon whiskey, which I have tried. I went out and got a bottle just to see what it is, and I was sweating it out. Man, it is good bourbon. So, and I'm a bourbon drinker. I'm not drinking it right now. It may sound like I'm doing it. Hey, Christine. But I'm not drinking right now. So that will happen after the podcast tonight. I'll have a couple beers maybe during the podcast. But I just realized if you listen to some of the podcasts, you may have heard some of the podcasts where I may have went one or two drinks too far. And I don't think I get my line of reasoning and my talk and my speech patterns probably get a little jumbled up. And now you look at me now and say, boy, this guy looks like he's drinking or he's on mushrooms or something like that. He's doing something. No, this is all caffeine and meditation and hanging out with the dog before I go. That's what I'm going to do. So we got that. I'm going to start doing my live shows again from the Catch Restaurant. I'm going to set that up. Maybe do starting probably by mid-September. We're going to do Fantasy Fest one day. I just got to talk to some of the potential sponsors, line up a resort, and I'm going to put that out there to listeners. If you know of a resort, I'll give them a free show, but they're going to put us up there, and then we're going to do from a couple venues. We're going to do a live coverage of Fantasy Fest at night. We'll do some afternoons. It's decent excitement. Luckily, hopefully, we won't wind up on the Monroe County Sheriff's Office mugshot blog. And if I do, I'm going to smile. I'm not looking. That's not my intention to end up on the blog. But if I do ever end up on it, and if it's by mistake, I'm going to try to smile. And that's the way I want to lead my life. Okay, for now, I'm going to say goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye to the Facebook listeners right now. Thank you, and I'll get back to you later. We'll try to do this more often. Maybe I'll do it on Friday. This motivates me. I hope it motivates you, and we'll have a drink together, perhaps. Bye. Okay, here we go. Hey, Alexa, resume. Okay, Facebook listeners. There we go. Mr. Blue's back. I'm not going to forget because you guys are my first true love, right? And I do appreciate your listeners. Well, why don't we just sign off on that? And remember, always, no matter if you're in the gutter or not, always look to the sky, to the stars.